Tute, already having done quite a lot of pre-reading, that's most important. So when you come to the Tute, you're already primed to talk about an issue. You don't come cold, you know what you want to talk about. You've looked at the resources, you've looked at the video if we have one, you're coming here ready to go. That'll go on for about 10 minutes, and then we will break up in our groups and you'll spend most of the Tute really discussing that issue. Then often, near the end of the Tute, we'll come together again and swap ideas of what people found, okay? Now, we want to move fast, we want to give you something meaty to go away with, and the topic, of course, if any one of you looked at it, is what does it mean to be human? What does it mean to be you, to be human?
Being able to walk, have freedom,
Walk, have freedom. Okay, so we can talk about what it means to be human for me. I want to take you even more broadly. You'll hear this over and over again. I used to be a veterinary surgeon, and I was fascinated with animals. Gradually, I became more and more fascinated with a very strange, evil, dangerous animal called human. We are the most dangerous animal that's ever been evolved in this world, without shadow of doubt. We can blow ourselves up. We can destroy the earth if we want to do it. So suddenly, this funny little human animal takes on a significance that it's never had before. As we've said, this little human animal could make what could be an absolutely beautiful world. Equally, this little human animal could destroy the world. So we're in a very, very interesting situation right now. So we must understand what this animal is. And this animal is a species, a remarkable species, a phenomenal species, a species quite different to any other. Now we have to think, what is that species? What does it mean? What does it mean to be human? And today, I want to just start off with a very simple idea. Who will I look at? You'll do. Sorry about this. What are you? You're about 78 kilograms of meat. That'd be right? With glasses and a watch. That'll do. Anything more? Well, yeah. And the human biologist, who's human biologist here? You can talk about this 78 kilogram of meat. You can talk about his opposable thumb. You can talk about his heart rate, his blood pressure. You can talk about him physiologically, anatomically. Not a problem. Anyone doing neuroscience? Great. You're not particularly interested in that 78 kilograms of meat. You're only interested in about that 1.25 kilograms of slushy brain. Is it 1.25? I can't remember. A certain amount of slush. The mind, the little computer, sitting on top of most of that meat, that does the thinking, the calculating, the abstract thought. And that's what makes humans unique. Not because we stand on two legs and we've got an opposable thumb, or that we don't have much hair, and some of us very little indeed. It's more that, not our physical characteristics, and yet there are many, many physical characteristics which are unique to the human condition we will talk about later. But it's really, from your point of view, I'm putting words in your mouth, this little bit, only a tiny bit, it does the thinking. That's what makes this bloke a human and not most of the other animals. He can think. He's a very clever man, a human. He's a member of a species with fantastic computer power. Marvellous. And yet, does that describe what it means to be human? Anything else? A lump of 70 kilograms of meat. You've got a little calculator up here called a brain, and you can think a lot. What else?
Sustaining our life on Earth.
Sorry?
Just maintaining our lifestyle.
Maintaining a lifestyle on Earth, yes. There's also things we do, but here I'm trying to get at something different, and I don't want to scare you, but we like to divide it. Yeah. We have self-consciousness. We are aware of ourselves. Now, I would like to go further than that and say we have a soul. Whoops. We have a psyche. We have an individuality. We have a personality. And a lot of scientists get very uneasy because they think, oh, that means God, and I don't believe in God or whatever. No. You can be an atheist and still think about that soul or psyche, our individuality. May I explain it like this? I keep on coming back to probably 72 kilograms of meat. Identity. Who am I? I'm Neville. You're Ryan? How about, Ryan, your body's getting a bit mixed up. I'll give a transplant. So you've got a new body. You'd be happy with that? Yeah. And look, you're getting a bit doddery. Your brain's not going too well. I can soup it up. I'll give you another brain. But you won't be you. Are you happy with that? You don't want to do that. Oh, I wonder why. Because that's my identity. That's me. That's Neville. That's Ryan. It's a psyche, an identity. I don't want to push this too far. I want you to think about it. Basically, we like to think of the human as being a very closely integration of the body, the meat, the mind, the thinking, and something other, something that puts it all together, integrates the totality and makes us individually who we are. Now, take that idea and think about it, and then later we will go further. Not only are you a little bit of meat, a little bit of brain, a little bit of psyche, identity, but we as a human community have another psyche, another life beyond that, a species. And once you start thinking along these lines, you can understand a little bit better where humans have come from and where they might be going. Now, I know that's a lot to throw at you. I'm going to stop. And you can object to anything I say, please do. You can think differently, please do. That's up to you. But what we're trying to do in this unit is get you thinking, get you postulating, getting your ideas, getting you to think about yourselves and everyone else in a deeper, more meaningful way, because if you do that, I think you'll be able to envisage futures and what to do next that much better. I've talked too long, haven't I, Mark?
That's perfect. It gives us a few minutes. Thanks, Ryan. That's all we need.
Sorry, can I just get everyone to be quiet for a moment? Now, one mark of a successful tutorial is when I ask everyone to be quiet and nobody is, that means it's buzzing. That's fantastic. But for today, I do want you to be quiet for the next 10 minutes. Normally, these tutes will run slightly differently. We'll start off with me or Mark or someone giving you a 10-minute sort of opening up of the tutorial, and then we'll be moving across to you as groups, and then you'll start talking about things. This first tutorial, obviously, is a little bit different. What I'll normally be doing is giving that 10-minute talk, and you or someone very kindly videotaping me. People who can't come to the tute can then see what was done. They can hear what was said, and they can get the ideas. So we're almost like Lectopia. We're trying to make sure that people are not going to miss out. And then you'll break up into your groups, and very often we'll get you to come back at the end of the tutorial, get groups of you to sit down the front, and then you will come up with some of the results of the discussions you've had. All sorts of possibilities, and that can be taped as well. But for now, we're going to start you off on a fairly easy subject. You're all at university. Marvellous. You all like wandering around the place. Marvellous. Anyone working? You know, like proper working? Serious working? Good. But a lot of you, God, you have an easy life. Come in here, flutter around the place, go and have coffee, go to occasionally a tutorial if you feel in the mood, wander off, bit of luck, you'll pass your exams and get the heck out of here. No, it's different here. What we're doing is teaching and being involved in a very particular unit, human action for world futures. So probably all of you are here with a sort of a background idea that this might be interesting, but with a background idea that you as individuals and groups can actually affect change in this world. And if you look at the videos we've got, this world does need a lot of change, and this world is changing. It's vital that your generation and my generation don't just sit back and watch it happen. If we do, we're going to be in a very, very big mess. You know that sort of thing. Question is, what can you do about it? And how will you do it? How are you going to make an impact on the world? Pretty big place. How many people live in this world? Any idea? Lots and lots of people. Come on, you're a scientist. How many? Within the next 10. Okay, that's spot on. 7 billion, that's the number we need. Hell of a lot of people. So how on earth can you do anything or you do anything? And that's what a lot of people think. We don't think that way. We think that people acting alone, in small groups, in larger groups, ultimately can have a big impact. Now, when you grow up, you can be active. Great. When are you going to grow up? I'd say tomorrow. I'd like to suggest that we use this first tute to think about, while you're at university, could you act in a way that could have impact? And in your groups, start to consider that question. What could I do? I could do many things. I could stand out there and say, hey, listen to me, the world is going to collapse. Do something. You know, you could go out there and do very simple things. You could join clubs. You can create happenings. You can do surveys. There's lots of ways that you can have an effect while you're still a university student. And I've got to bring in here, on Sunday night I went to that vigil in town, sort of commemorating that Iranian man who died in Papua New Guinea as part of the detention centre business. You've all heard about that. A lot of us are absolutely disgusted with our government, absolutely disgusted with ourselves because we allowed it to happen. Anyway, the point of what I'm trying to get at is there were 1,000 people there. There would have been probably 200 or 300 people at least of your age. And some of the best talks were given by people of your age. They did something. They acted. And so action is possible here and now. I think I should stop at that point. Get you people to now start going around the circle. Before you do, we want to appoint a leader.
Maybe just, if I could, maybe we don't need to record this, but what we want to do in this last part of the tute is actually put into action the idea of the social constructivism. That is, that you'll be learning from each other, engaging and collaborating as of, you start already in your groups. So you'll notice in the LMS, one of your tasks for this week, and you read all these details under the notes, resource and activities for week 1, so it's all there in a lot of detail. But in short, one of the tasks that you're asked to do each week is actually contribute to a topic forum, a weekly forum. Now, people that did Unit 1110 first semester, these forums are going to run a bit differently. So rather than individually contribute to the forum, you'll notice the notes we've got there are really saying we only want a contribution, in this case, from 3 groups. There's another 2 groups in your unit in another tutorial. So the most we'll see will be 5 discussion threads initiated in the forum. Whereas last semester we may have seen up to 50 discussion threads initiated because there are 50 students. So it's not individual, it's group. So each group is going to appoint a person who's going to be the initiator of the forum for your group this week. So it might be yourself for this week, and you might be what's called the moderator of the forum, who will monitor the forum, engage other people. So that's your roster for this week. And the next 2 might do it the next week, and so on. And you might have to get around twice. So each group will have a monitor and a moderator. Do you understand what I mean by moderator for the forum? Sorry, it's not Paige, is it? Alicia? If Alicia posts on behalf of this forum a response to this question, what does your group see as useful active citizenship for university students? So as a result of your 5-minute discussion, you might get 5 or 6 ideas, you might get a bit of consensus, you might have to use Facebook to get the rest of the ideas from the group because we don't have time. But then by, say, Thursday this week, on behalf of the group, you'll publish a collective view in the forum of what the group thinks. Now, other group members might add to that and enhance what you've said, and then Paige will monitor the forum during the week, respond to responses from other people, and try and get the conversation going. So that's extending the collaboration and the learning beyond just the tutorial. Do you kind of get the concept there? Okay, so each group will operate the same. So probably you'll get a chance in each group to be an initiator of the forum as well as a moderator at least once. But we won't be allocating those roles, and if it's really up to you to make your group work, because if your group doesn't work, then obviously you can't demonstrate the kind of collaboration that you need to show what you're achieving in this unit. And the question you're addressed is, what does your group see as useful active citizenship for students? And that's probably it. And time-wise, we've got just...
12 minutes.
Have we? Yeah, okay. Anything else, Neville?